Hi, everybody. Welcome. Thanks for joining us. We're going to take a few minutes to give everybody a chance to get into the session. Hope everyone's having a good day.
Hey, Wade.
Hi, how you doing?
Good.
Good to see you.
You too.
Lots of familiar faces coming in. Nice soothing music in the background while we get assembled. Okay, everybody. So we've probably got a few more people going to be joining us, but we're going to go ahead and get started here in just a minute. I do want to thank everybody for coming. Just got a few more people here. Give them a second to get in. So let's go ahead and get started. I do want to welcome everyone to this Get Set Up special event celebrating International Yoga Day with Laury Smith from the Houston YMCA. My name is Wade, and I'm one of the guides here at Get Set Up, and I'll be your host for today. As a community of active older adults, we're all looking at ways to stay active, and Get Set Up is thrilled to have Laury with us today to lead us in this yoga class. Before we get started, I do want to cover a few housekeeping items. For those of you joining us live through the Get Set Up Zoom class, please remember to mute yourself during the session, but do keep your cameras on if you're comfortable with that so we can all enjoy connecting with each other and also capture some images to share in the future. If you have any clarifying questions for Laury while she's speaking, please let us know by putting them in the chat, and we'll do our best to call them out to her attention. We'll also have some time at the end of the session for questions for Laury directly from you. So for those of you joining via the community live streams on Get Set Up TV, Facebook, or YouTube, you're also welcome to enter your questions into the comments, and we'll do our best to address everyone's questions. And now on to our special guest. Laury Smith has been teaching at YMCA for over 19 years and for a total of 31 years. She enjoys teaching a variety of formats that includes Les Mills Body Combat, Body Pump, Body Flow, and Soul Fusion. She began leading classes for the YMCA senior population about 12 years ago and teaching Forever Well Yoga on a weekly basis. She's a native Houstonian and has lived in Indonesia for a few years as well, and even taught some classes while she was there. Laury, welcome to Get Set Up, and take it away.
Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. We're going to either sit up straight toward the front of the seat of our chair, or you're welcome to sit all the way back and utilize your backrest if needed. And we're going to begin with some shoulder movement, just gentle rotations of the shoulders up, back, and down. And while we're moving, we want to breathe yoga style if possible, inhaling and exhaling through our nose. If you're unable to do that, you can just breathe steadily through your mouth. Remember, calm, steady, soothing breaths, nothing forced or anticipated. Move at your own pace. Just waking up the shoulder joints. We're going to change the direction of our shoulder rotation. So if you were rotating your shoulders back, let's try forward. If you are already coming forward, take them backward. This one can be a little more exaggerated if you'd like. And as you're pushing your shoulders forward and down, feel a nice stretch in that upper back area, maybe the backs of the shoulders a bit. And just keep the breathing continuous. one more rotation forward. And after that, have your arms at your side. We'll start moving the shoulders up and down. So I want you to do a shoulder shrug, please. Pull them up as high as you can, and then slowly push them down as low as you can. We're going to inhale as we raise our shoulders and exhale as we lower the shoulders. And I want you to think that you're reaching down to touch the floor. So you're dropping your shoulders lower than you normally carry them to allow for a little stretch in those upper back muscles. Moving at your own pace, because we all have our own rate of breath, our own breathing rhythm. So we'll be adding on to this movement. It'll be a stretch for the sides of our neck. So the next time you're dropping your shoulders and exhaling, I want you to lean your head over to one side, taking your ear towards your shoulder. When you're ready to inhale, center the head and bring the shoulders back up again. As you exhale, go the other way, ear to other shoulder. Each time we drop the ear to shoulder, our shoulders come down. We get a nice stretch for the side of your neck, top of your back. Good. Remember to move to match your rate of breath. We'll be holding each side in just a moment. Good. And the next time you take your ear towards your shoulder, I want you to stay to that side. Make sure that both shoulders are pushed down. Bring the opposite arm, the side you're leaning away from, out away from your body at a slight angle, and reach the fingertips toward the floor. So feel that stretch in the side of your neck, top of your back. Now for a moment, we're going to raise the arm up a little bit higher, and I want you to reach out without leaning that way. With that, you might feel a stretch down the arm from your shoulder towards your elbow. Now let's turn our palms forward so your thumb is up toward the ceiling. So we're working on the rotator cuff area a little bit. Let's extend the thumb up toward the ceiling, and you might feel a stretch down your forearm and all the way into the thumb. See how far you can rotate the palm upward now. Can you turn the palm up toward the ceiling? Now let's turn the palm all the way back down toward the floor. Lower the arm to that slight angle again. And try tilting your chin upward a bit. See how that feels for your neck. You're going to feel a shift in the area that's being stretched. You might feel it under the ear toward the front of the neck and the jawline area. Now bring the ear over your shoulder, and we're going to see how far we can rotate our head, looking down towards your shoulder. So start turning your head toward the shoulder that you're leaning toward, and see how far you can go. Hold that stretch for a moment, and we're going to slowly nod our head up and down. So take the chin up a little bit, and then down. Let's do 3 head nods. At your own pace, you can inhale as you lift the chin. Exhale as you lower. After your 3rd nod, you can turn back toward the front and go ahead and bring that opposite arm all the way into your side. So we're still leaning over to the side. I want you to bring your chin forward as far as you can go. So you're off center. Now we're feeling the stretch more toward the back of the neck on that opposite side. And let's slide the chin to the center of our chest. Take a breath in and out here. And let's raise our heads. And let's try that stretch on the other side for the neck. Inhale and raise your shoulders. Exhale, shoulders down, head goes to the opposite side. Now we're getting the other side of the neck. Bring the opposite arm out from the body at that angle and reach down toward the floor to set the shoulder down. So we have an anchor for our stretch. Make sure the shoulder that you're leaning toward is not coming up at all as well. Keep your breath going. Let's lift that arm a little higher and reach out without shifting your torso to that side. Feel that stretch in the arm. Now turn your palm forward. Start rotating forward, extend the thumb upward. Just stretching down our arm a little bit while we're here. And see if you can rotate a little more, turning the palm upward toward the ceiling. You might feel that a little differently in your neck while we're doing it. And then turn the palm all the way back down toward the floor and lower the arm to the angle again. Let's try the chin tilt upward on this side. You might notice a difference between the sides, maybe a little more tightness in one versus the other. And if something doesn't agree with you, you can always come back ear over shoulder. You can always bring the arm in. Take a break when you need to. Remember to inhale and exhale through the nose or through the mouth. Keep that steady breath. Let's go ear over shoulder again and start turning our head toward our shoulder. You want to look at your shoulder if you can. So turn it over there, looking down at the shoulder. And we're going to stay here for 3 head nods. So we're going to lift it up. Inhaling if you want as you raise the chin, exhaling as you lower. So 3 nods will do it. Great job, you guys. And bring the head back toward the front after your 3rd nod, ear over shoulder, and close that arm all the way in. Now we're going to bring our chin as far forward as we can. You can move slowly. Feel that stretch toward the back of the neck, opposite side. And then slide it to the center. Hold for a moment. Breathe in, breathe out. And raise your head up. Now we're going to focus on stretching the back of our neck and into our upper back area. So I want you to make sure that your shoulders stay back and down away from the ears. So you can even position your hands a little further behind you. Hold on to the chair if you want. We'll inhale looking forward or slightly upward. Exhale, lower your chin as close to your chest as you can without flexing the neck muscles in front. Just stretch. When you're ready to inhale, raise your head. So we'll just kind of nod the head slowly, inhaling up. Exhaling, chin toward the chest. A few more times before we hold it down. And as you're lowering your chin, make sure the shoulders aren't shifting forward. This one's going to feel really nice when we hold it, you guys. So the next time you're lowering your chin, we're going to stay there. Just hold it down. Check the shoulders. Keep a little tension between the shoulder blades so the chest is open. And we're going to start moving a little bit, sweeping your chin across your chest. Start off with a very small range of motion, a little tilt to one side, and then slide it across to the other. You can gradually make it as big as you'd like. This is your stretch for your neck and your upper back. You can go all the way up at the shoulder if you want. Make a big arc across the chest with the other shoulder. Keep your breath going too. Try that yoga style of breathing throughout. Let's do one more sweep in each direction. Just make sure that you're evened out on your chin sweeps before we center the chin once again. So after your last one, bring your chin back to the center. Reposition the shoulders if you need to. And I want you to take your chin over to one side as far as you can go. As far to one side and hold for just a breath or two. Come back to the center and do the same in the other direction. As far as you can go, hold for a breath or two. Good, and come back to center. And let's raise our heads. And let's do a few shoulder rotations to loosen that area up again. I hope that felt good for y'all. Nice stretching for the neck. Now we're going to work on one more thing for the neck. Not so much stretching, but more about mobility, keeping up our range of motion in the neck joint. First, we're going to do some arm movement, and then we'll add head turns with the arm movement. So I want you to have your arms at your side with your palms facing inward. You're going to raise your arms up to shoulder height, then turn your palms backward as you push down. So inward as you raise, shoulder height. And when you push your arms back, you can stop at your side or push beyond the body a little bit. So movement through the shoulders, getting ready to add on a head turn. So the next time you're pushing your arms back, turn your head to look toward one side. And when you're raising your arms to the front, look back to the center. So we stop in the middle and then turn your head and look the other way. Up. Good. And push back. Inhaling as we raise, exhaling as we lower. See if you can look past the sides, maybe toward the back corners a little bit over your shoulders. Test your range of motion. Can you look behind you? This is very functional. For those times you need to back out of your parking space or down a driveway, pretend you don't have a camera to help you anymore. We're back in the old days. Look over your shoulder one more time each way. Good. All right, stop with your arms by your side. We're going to do a bigger arm movement if possible. If you can raise your arms higher than shoulder height, please do. Excuse me. Palms inward. Raise up, inhale. Exhale, come back down. Please keep moving through. If you can go all the way up, do that. Stretch up. That would happen. Excuse me, you guys. Inhale through the nose, exhale through the nose. Now, as you're moving your arms, please widen your feet slightly. In a moment, we're going to add a hinge of our torso forward, and it's called airplane. You're going to slightly change your arms too. Thank you. So hinge forward, bring your arms behind you like an airplane, palms to floor. Thank you very much. So arms go as high as you can up, and we lean forward to work on the low back and the core. Good. So think flat back as you're coming forward. Airplane. Good. Let's do two more. Deep breath in as we raise those arms overhead for the last one at your own pace. And once you do your last airplane, bring your arms back to your side. Good. We're going to walk the feet back in. Now we're going to do some work, a little more active work for stretching our chest and working our back muscles. We're having our hands right in front called hands heart center. So we're going to open the arms. It's called cactus. So I want you to feel the muscles in the back work to bring the shoulder blades together toward the spine. So let's inhale and open our arms. You're moving at your own pace. Exhale, you bring it back together. Open up. Squeezing the shoulder blades. This is our cactus pose. Hopefully you're feeling a stretch in the chest as you open those arms. All right, the next time, stay open in your cactus for a moment. I want you to twist over to one side just a bit, turn the torso, come back to the center, and close your arms. Do the same on the other side next time. Go open the cactus. This is your inhale. You can exhale as you twist. You can make it a couple of breaths. Breathe in and out. Good. So the twisting helps us with muscles in our abdominals called obliques, our inner obliques. It's good for the low back too, but if you've been advised not to twist or not to do a spinal rotation, just stay centered with your cactus and hold. We're going to work a different set of obliques called our external obliques next time. So open into cactus, lean a little bit over to one side. Come back, squeeze the shoulder blades and close. Good. At your own pace, cactus, a little side bend to the other side, keeping your hips down in your chair. Good. And close. We'll do that one more time on each side. You're breathing in as you open up. You can exhale as you bend. Inhale as you straighten back up and squeeze those back muscles. Good. Exhale as you close. We'll do one more each way. And once you finish that last side bend, come back here to hands, heart center. Good. Everybody good? All right, we're gonna do a little torso twist again, and this one's gonna focus a little bit more on our abdominals because we're gonna be leaning forward. So I want you to keep your hands together, taking your right elbow towards your thigh. You don't have to touch, lean forward a little bit, and then sit back up. And then take your left elbow towards your right thigh. You can touch it if you want to. You can rest the elbow on the thigh, or just hover. So we do press the hands together. Go right elbow, left thigh. Good. And then left elbow, right thigh. Continue with your breath. We will add on to this. This time as you take the right elbow to the thigh, we're gonna open the arms. You can push into that leg if you want. Then bring your hands back to heart center and center your body, sit up. Good, so a little more rotation. Elbow to thigh, open your arms if you'd like, and you can rest that elbow on the thigh or hover. Bringing your hands back in, and come back up. Let's do that once more each side. Lean, you can turn and look back. Okay, get a little more rotation from the neck. Remember to use the breath. Last one. Good. Finish with hands, heart center. And we're gonna loosen up the back and chest. So bring your arms to your side. You can come forward in the seat of your chair if you want to make this movement bigger. So this can be just shoulders coming forward, rounding your back, lowering your chin, and then pulling the shoulders back, tilting up just a little bit to open the chest. Or I'll turn to the side. You can make it more exaggerated. If you're forward in your chair, you can lean back a little bit more as you pull the shoulders forward and really open up. If you want to make this more work for the abdominals, pretend you're doing a sit-up, right? I want you to flex and breathe. This should feel good in the back as you come forward, lowering that chin, help stretch the neck too. Just open up through the chest. So it's a little bit of work as we open up and a nice stretch coming forward. So think of having your spine curve as a letter C. A little C curve in the spine, upper back is rounded. This is a nice one. I would like to stay here longer, but we're only going to do 2 more. Good. Wonderful, you guys. All right, we're moving on to the hips and the thighs now. So we're going to work on the muscles of our quadriceps, which are the front of our thighs, as well as our hip flexors. You may feel this in your abdominals as well. If you can, just sit up straight and tall without using your backrest, but if you need to, please sit all the way back. So what you're going to do is bring one foot off the floor, a little knee lift, and then put it down. And then switch and bring the other foot up. Good. So like we're doing a march. And I'm going to add a little arm movement to this just to shake things up a little bit, work on our brains a little bit. It's going to be the opposite arm from your leg. So I've got my left knee coming up. I'm bringing my right arm forward and down. When my right knee comes up, it's my left arm. Good. So just opposite arm from leg. Try to maintain your posture too. Now we're going to add on to it. As you lift your leg, hold it up for a moment and then straighten and bend at the knee. It doesn't have to be locked out all the way straight at all. Just straighten and bend at your own range of motion and then come down. So that's a little more work for the quadriceps. Want a little more work for the brain too. As we extend the leg, I want you to open the arm. Good. Come back to the front. Great job, you guys, and down. That's our brain teaser. extend. Nice. One more time each side. Wonderful. All right, let's stay down. Now a little bit more for the hip joint. We're going to do a movement called opening and closing the gate. We're going to alternate legs out to the side. So maintain your posture. We're just going to lift the foot up a little bit and extend the leg out to the side with the knee bent, and then bring it back in. And then do the same on the other side. Open the gate and close the gate. We're keeping our posture, but if we need to, we'll sit back into the back rest. So we sit up big and tall. So it's a smaller movement right now in that we're keeping the foot a little bit close to the floor, opening and closing. If you're in socks, you can slide that foot out. So we're working on the muscles that take the leg away from the body, as well as those that bring it back in, and working through the hip joint too. Now let's try to lift up the leg a little bit more as we take it out and in. So give me a bigger step now. Think of climbing in and out of a car, a tub. Good. Getting over a bicycle. Good. Yeah, it's a pickup truck. Open and close. Good. We're high stepping it now. You never know. Sometimes you just might need that. Need that movement. Someone did ask me once. She said she struggled to get on a bike because she hadn't done that in a while. So this will help you get over that. Let's do one more. All right, we're going to do one more thing for that area. Well, actually, a couple more things. I want you to shoot your legs out to the side now, as straight as you can, and also point your toe. So take one leg out to the side, straight out, and then bring it back in. And I want you to try to point your toes as you do that, even if you're in shoes. And that way we start stretching the ankle, the top of the foot, and into the foot itself. So this one's I call stopping traffic. So you're stopping traffic with that leg. Shoot it out. Good. Back in. Good. Awesome. One more each side. Keep that breath going, yeah? Good job, you guys. All right, so the beauty of our hip joint as well as our shoulder is it's a ball and socket joint. So you can move it in all directions. So we're going to do two things where we're either over to one side of our chair or turn to the side. So you can turn to the side, have that leg on the outside, or shift it over to one side of your chair. So once you get over there, you turn so y'all can see me. Try to get your knee under your hip a little bit. So we're going to take that leg forward, side, back, and through the middle. If you have trouble completing the full half circle, you can come in from the side. Feel free to hold on to your chair for stability. Hold on to the seat or hold on to the backrest. And we're going to circle sweep the leg front, side, back, and through the middle. Or you can do a smaller circle off to the corner or go front and side. So just work on rotating through that hip joint a little bit. Front, side, back. Can you go in reverse? Want to try going backward first? Back, side, and front. So our foot is just kind of grazing the floor. We're working on a lot of stabilizer muscles too while we move that leg around. Let's do one more time around. Now let's take the leg back with the knee bent. See if you can position your knee directly under your hip. You're on the ball of the foot or on the toes. Sit up as tall as you can. I want you to be able to feel a stretch where your hip and thigh connect right through here from the leg lifts we did to the front. So let's try to squeeze the glutes on that side a little bit. You can even lean the torso back slightly. Let's sit up big and tall. Now, whatever leg is being stretched right now, I want you to take that same arm out wide to overhead and then lean toward the chair a little bit, toward the backrest. See if that helps facilitate the stretch for the hip flexors. So quadricep and hip flexors, all the front of the thigh. Wonderful, you guys. Let's come out of the side bend, lower your arm, turn back to the front. Feet come together, and we're going to go to the other side so we can move the other leg. So start off with the knee positioned under the hip, and that's where we'll finish in just a moment. But we're going to do our leg sweeps around. So hold on to the chair, bring the leg front, sweep it to the side, take it to the back, and bring it through the middle. You can do a small circle. You can go front and side only. So the range of motion is up to you. Just doing a little tango here. You want to go the other way? Let's try the other direction. Back, side, front, and around. I got stuck there at the back corner. Almost didn't make it around the dance floor. Okay, one more time. And let's head into that stretch. Let's take that leg back. Position the knee right under your hip if you can. You're on the ball of the foot. That's a good stretch for the foot muscles too. Let's tuck that tailbone a little bit. Good posture. Lean back a little if you want. You can even hold on to the top of your backrest. Feel that connection. Feel the stretch right there. And to add on to it, bring the same arm as leg up and then lean in toward the backrest. Up and over. Nice, you guys. Good. Let's bring that arm down and face front. Walk your feet in. For those who would like to, we're going to do a little bit of standing work, a little bit for balance, and also a little to stretch. Feel free to stay seated, and I'll give you seated options for what we're doing. The first move we're going to do is a tree, and we're going to do it on both sides. So if you're seated, you can just come up onto the toes and rest your right heel on the left ankle and do the arm movements that we do. For those who want to stand, come over to one side of your chair. I'm going to move my chair a little bit. And I want you to be able to hold on to your chair with your inside hand if you need it. Please hold on the whole time if you'd like. If you're wearing socks and you're on a hard floor without a carpet, I would recommend removing your socks just for safety. So for the tree, turn out your knee to the side, your outside leg, and rest your heel on your ankle. So this is one level for your tree. Your next option is to bring your foot up on your calf. We want to keep it off of the knee. So if you need to hold your chair, go ahead and bring one hand here to heart center. If you don't, bring both hands to heart center. So one thing that I have to remind myself of is not to let my hip shift over. So let's stand up big and tall. Put your hip right in line with your thigh. Squeeze the glutes on that side for stability. That'll help you with your balance. And we're going to move our arms a little bit for a challenge. So I want you to keep your hands together as you push overhead. Good. Now open your arms wide and come down all the way. Good. Bring your hands to heart center again. So we're going to push up overhead, breathing in and breathing out. Great job, you guys. Beautiful trees. One more time. Stay rooted and strong. Overhead and down. Nice. All right. Now I want you to hold your chair with your inside arm if you need to. We're going to move your knee to the front and back to the side. So bring the knee forward and then to the side. Now bring your arm forward. Now as your knee comes forward, open your arm to the side. And as the knee opens, close your arm to the front. It's another brain teaser, very similar to what we did before. So arm is moving opposite the leg. You don't have to hold on to your chair. You can extend the other arm out. If you want an extra challenge, as your knee opens, turn your head that way. So now we're challenging our visual and inner ear balance receptors by just that little head movement. It's a game changer. Let's do one more. Y'all are doing amazing. All right, lower your arms and step down. The leg that was supporting you the whole time, move it around a little bit. You can rotate the ankle. Is it feeling okay? Usually I feel that all the way from my foot up to my hip from that stability. Good. All right, we're gonna move to the other side. So let's try our tree on the other side of our chair. So if you're seated, remember you're just doing the footwork. You can do the arm work too, but we're not standing up. You're just resting the heel on the ankle or the foot on the calf. Make sure you guys can see me, okay? All right, so we'll do our hands, heart, center once we get our tree set. So strong into the floor with the foot. Bring that hip right in line with the thigh. Nice. Good. Breathe in, breathe out. And let's move our arms. Let's push up. And then open wide. Once again, you're moving at your own pace. You can use it with your breath. You can inhale as you push overhead. And you can do this with one hand if you'd like to hold on to your chair the whole time. I know you know that. Just a little reminder. Let's do one more. Good. All right, now for the coordination, bring the knee forward and then out to the side. And if your hip flexors are getting fatigued, you're welcome to put your toes on the floor and still do the movement, knee forward and side. Now go ahead and bring the arm forward, same arm as leg. Now as the knee comes to the front, open the arms and move your arm opposite your leg. You can hold on with the inside arm the whole time. If you don't need to hold on, take that arm out to the side as well. Amazing balance, you guys. Good, you want to turn your head to the side as the knee opens. That's the challenge. That had me wobbling a bit. Yeah, no. No dice, not gonna do it. Stay rooted, stay rooted. Let's do one more. Way to go on your balance, you guys. Come on down, rotate that ankle, shake out that leg a little bit, get it moving again. If you want to do bend the knees, do some hamstring curls real quick, heels kicking up. So we're gonna do a stretch for the back of the legs, lower back. So I'm gonna show you if you're seated. We're gonna stay standing. If you're standing, please stay standing. If you're seated, come toward the front of your chair. Feet are gonna be hip width apart. Either your elbows are gonna be on your thighs or your hands. And I realize with the hands that it can be a lot on the wrists sometimes. So if your wrists get tired, come down to the elbows. Those of us who are standing, I want you to come to one side of the seat of your chair, and we're gonna place the hands on the seat of the chair. So we're doing a down dog, but a standing down dog. So if it's too much to have your hands on the seat of your chair, you can come behind your chair and use the backrest, but I want you to tip forward so you're in a tabletop position with the back. So feet can be hip width apart or a little bit wider. And I want you to think of flattening your back and lengthening your spine. So let's push the shoulders away from the ears. Let's look out in front a little bit. Chin off of chest, and then also push your tailbone back. So we stretch the hamstrings and then work on strengthening the back muscles. So we're gonna do something called a pointer. So if you're seated and you have your elbows or hands on your thighs, you're gonna alternate extending an arm forward like this. One arm reaches straight out and comes down, and then the other. And you can do the same thing standing, but you can also add on an opposite leg lift to it. So as one arm comes forward, the opposite leg lifts to the back. Big work for the back of the body. And then alternate. Wonderful, you guys. So I say it's pointer. It's also known as bird dog. Yoga term. I think a couple more should do it. Let's do one more on each side. After you've done your last pointer, we're going to counter this flat back with what is called a cat pose. So either on your elbows seated or your hands seated or your hands here standing, we're going to curve the spine upward. So do the same if you're on your elbows in a seated position. Just curve the spine, drop the chin towards your chest. You're welcome to step a little bit closer to your chair. I want us all to slowly rise up out of this position. So even if you're seated, you can release your arms maybe to the inside of your legs and gradually, very, very, very slowly raise up. If you're standing, do the same thing. As we say, one vertebrae at a time. Just start coming up, bring your hands off the chair. You're at your fingertips. And now the fingers are off the chair. If you find a spot you need to stay at for a moment that feels really good, stay there for just a breath or two. And then finish your roll all the way to top. Good. Roll the shoulders. Great job, you guys. All right, we're going to join you back in the chair. If you're seated, go ahead and stay there. So everybody's favorite stretch. I saved the best for last. This is called the hip opener stretch. And you've got two ways to do it. So one ankle crosses over the other. Scoot back a little bit. One ankle crosses over the other. Come forward in the seat of your chair so you have a lot of open space under the leg. Or bring your ankle above your knee. So if you're going ankle above your knee, as soon as you get there, go ahead and flex. Pull those toes back towards your shin so you support the ankle and your knee. If you're staying ankle over ankle, we sit up tall. I want you to use your hand on the same side on your inner thigh and press that knee open. Push it down toward the floor so you feel a stretch through this part of your body. Above the knee, you can do the same. You can press, but you can also lift your supporting heel up off the floor. So going onto the toes of that foot shifts it open a little bit more. So do your breaths. You can do longer, slower breaths here while we grin and bear it a little bit. So if you feel like you're holding tension in your hips, on your next exhale, I really want you to release that. Let it go. Sometimes we fight the stretch. We hold on to tension because it's not really a feel-good stretch. So let go into the stretch. Let gravity do its thing. We're going to add on something to this because I always do. One way or another, we always add something. All right, so if you lifted your heel, go ahead and put the heel down. We're going to add our airplane movement to it. So we're only going to bring our arms up to shoulder height. So we'll sweep our arms up to shoulder height. I want you to lean forward and take your arms back like we did for airplane. Do you feel that extra right there as you hinge forward? Inhale up, shoulder height. Exhale, hinge forward. Palms are to the floor, thumbs are away. Keep a flat back. We've got one more, and this is our long flight right here. This is a long flight, so we're going to stay, but don't hold your breath. Let that knee open. Give me one more breath in and out, and you can come up. Wonderful. Sit up, release. Go ahead and uncross. Let's try the other side. Left other ankle over ankle. Remember with that one, you want a lot of open space under your legs. So sit at the front of your chair. Use that same hand right on the inner thigh. Never press on your knee directly. Open it up. If you want to go above the knee on that side, flex the ankle once you get there and support the knee and the ankle. Good. Pressure here as well if you like. You're going to notice a difference between the sides of the body in terms of your flexibility in this area. So if you have IT band tightness, sciatica issues, this is a good stretch to do for those things. If you want to lift your heel for that little bit of extra, do that. And we're pushing the knee open through the hip, but we're also releasing enough to allow the stretch to happen. We'll be taking flight here in just a moment. If you raise your heel, lower it. And let's go into airplane. Bring your arms up shoulder height. Inhale. Exhale, push back. Good. Lean over your leg. Feel that extra right there. Breathe in. You're moving at your own pace. As you exhale, airplane forward. Hinge forward over your legs. Fold up a little bit. And get ready for the big one. This is your grand finale right here. Hold it for a moment. 2 breaths for me. flat back. Push that knee down. Get a little bit more out of it. Good. And sit up. Yes, you can uncross now. So I like to finish with a little bit of movement for the feet. It's an area that we neglect, but something we really need to pay attention to. So our balance exercises did help exercise our feet as well. But I want you to wiggle your toes. If you have your shoes on and you don't mind taking them off, now would be a good time to do that. But you can also do this keeping your shoes on. I know you can't see my feet, so I'm going to move my hands a little bit to kind of match what I want your feet to do. I want you to pretend that you have a towel under your feet. And if you have a towel handy, go ahead and put it under your feet. And I want you to grab it with the toes and pull like a cat. Grab and pull. So this movement of pulling our toes back toward the bottom of our feet is really good exercise for the muscles in your feet. Grab and pull, just like I'm doing with my hands. I'm doing it with my feet too, I promise. And if you want to do it with your hands too, it's not a bad idea, right? To move through the fingers. Yeah, you can make little noises. Now I want you to grab and hold both toes, pull. So now you're like a bird with its prey and you're not going to let go. Do you feel that in the bottom of your feet? Now see if you can lift up onto the toes so you have just a little archway under your foot. You're really flexing. Good. Now relax through the feet. Now we're going to do our piano toes. So I want you to lift up your big toe. Pretend my thumb is my big toe. So my four toes are flat. I'm going to raise my big toe up as high as I can. Sometimes it takes a moment. So give yourself some time for the information to travel down from your brain to your toes. Good. Now once you have your big toe up, go ahead and put it down. And let's lift the other four. And keep the big toe anchored down. And also try not to pronate. Try not to turn inward. Keep the big toe pressing into the floor. And now alternate that. Go big toe and then the four other toes. Do you feel that? I feel that up into my shin area. So working the muscles in the lower leg too. You got tendons and things at work. Big toe, four toes. You're playing the piano with your toes if you ever need to or want to. Now that's a different kind of flexibility right there. All right, can you hold all your toes up right now for me? All your toes in the air. Now we're going to work on spreading out the toes a little bit because they're always in our shoes like this. So let's take the little toe down to the floor like that. And that should help start opening your toes a little bit. And then push the big toe down. And then press all your toes down, but don't close them up. Keep them spread apart. And then grip like you're hanging 10. You're surfing. Okay. And then release. Relax. Wonderful, you guys. Was everybody feeling a little bit nice? Let's do some wrist rotations, especially if you were doing your hand movements along with your foot movements. Fingers and toes were moving. Rotate through the wrists a few times each way. You can do door knockers. This is a great stretch for the forearms and the wrists where we drop the knuckles down. Let's take the thumb up and rotate through the thumb. Big tendons there at work. Interesting fact I found out the other day. There are no muscles in your fingers. Who knew? Remember in grade school, did y'all used to do the finger exercises? I thought that's because we have muscles. It's all from your tendons. It all comes from the forearms. Okay. Now let's open your hands forward like this. Thumb across, like you're showing me 4, and open, and then go little finger and open, ring finger, middle finger, and pointer. Good. Thumb across, open, pinky, ring, middle, and pointer. Nice, and relax. Roll the shoulders out. Good. So if you'd like to take a moment to relax your body and mind, sit all the way back in your chair so that you can lean into your backrest. Make sure there's no tension in your facial muscles, the neck muscles, the upper back. Let your arms rest by your side or in your lap. And just draw your attention to your breathing. Try to inhale, exhale through the nose. Or just breathe through your mouth. Calm the body and calm the mind before you face the rest of your day. You may continue with your meditation. I'm going to give us one more breath in and out together, but continue to relax if you'd like. Inhale, arms sweep wide to overhead. Bring your hands together overhead. Come down to heart center. Namaste. Have a great afternoon. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much, Laury, for leading us in such a wonderful yoga practice. Before we close out, I do want to give people a chance to see if there are any questions. So if you have questions for Laury, you can either put them in the chat, or if you would like to ask a question directly, just go ahead and unmute yourself and turn on your camera and ask your question out loud. So, any questions from the audience? And anyone that's live streaming can also put your questions in the comments. Okay, there was a question about getting a copy of this. We'll talk about that in just a minute. I know lots of people are interested in getting this so they can do it again. Okay. So it's just about time to go ahead and close down. So okay, so no questions. Let's go ahead and close down the session. I want to thank you all for attending, and we'll go ahead and wrap things up now. Thank you again, Laury. It has been great having you here today to lead us in some yoga in celebration of International Yoga Day.
Thanks, Laury. It's great. Thank you.
Megan, thank you. Have a good day, you guys.
Okay, you can check out additional programming from Laury and the Houston YMCA at their website, which is ymcahouston.org. You can also keep an eye out for future guest speakers from the Houston YMCA. We really want to thank the team at Houston YMCA for their support and partnership. Thanks to the audience here in the front row and in our live stream communities. If you would like a recording of this event, I'm sure you would, please email our support team at help@getsetup.io. If you're new to GetSetup, we hope you've gotten a taste for what we do. We have over 500 online classes weekly, all designed for older adults, taught by older adults. Our classes are free as we work with local governments, community, and Medicare organizations who support their members with free classes. I also want to draw attention to some of the additional information from GetSetup. If you like this event, we have other exercise classes you might be interested in as well. There is a link to sign up for classes in the chat here on our Zoom and in the live stream, or you can contact us at www.getsetup.org. And remember, everyone who registered will receive an email after this event with some links and notes and links to several relevant classes, as well as other exciting upcoming guests. We look forward to seeing all of you in a future class. Thanks to everyone, and thanks again to Laury. Everyone have a great afternoon. Bye now.
Bye-bye.
I forgot airplane.